So what you must first do is develop your own inner authority, right? Get in touch with your inner father, the father that feels rage at its child being bullied, and use that assertion, right? In other words, you got to realize that every man and woman has an inner mother and an inner father. Shamans, the ones who were considered to be the wisest people in the tribe, got their wisdom from either, if he was a man, their inner mother, and if she was a woman, their inner father. That's who they got their wisdom from. Now, why do I say that? With men, think about it. Men are naturally more what? More aggressive, more me, right? So what does women say? Let's get everyone to work together, right? So naturally, a man's bias will be towards me, 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 me. He got to be able to balance that energy and consult the inner woman within him, right? So he'll naturally have a more harmonious way of thinking, which will lead to wiser and better decisions, right? But women, on the other hand, they have the soft nurturing part of them, right, which is more forgiving, which is more prone to bring people together, but they don't have that aggressive inner father inside of them that will stand up to people who are bullying you, that's less forgiving. It is a yin and a yang. It is about balancing that. And rather than feeling that passive aggression, which women are pretty good at, you gotta learn how to develop, rather than developing aggression, develop assertiveness, which is completely different. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Right? And so this is what you guys got to do. The inner authority comes out during moments when you have to do something, right? When you're noticing that you have work to do and you have no other time right now, so you get it done. You notice this inner authority when you got to go to work, right? As opposed to when nobody's forcing you to go to work, you don't go to work. But all of a sudden, when you got to go to work, there's something inside of you that forces you to get up even though you don't want to. Only when there's outside pressure. Right? That inner authority is your higher self. Is the part of you that gives you the discipline, right? So creating boundaries, you first have to create inner boundaries. And what we're going to be talking about is not just boundaries in terms of people, but boundaries within yourself. You know, knowing when to study, knowing when to go to work. And then that'll naturally expand to setting boundaries to everyone because that's going to be part of your reality. You feel me? Yeah. So you gotta learn to swing that sword around in small ways first, right? In other words, you gotta learn how to assert yourself. I'm getting ahead of myself, but we're gonna get to it, right? You gotta learn to assert yourself in small ways first. We know we're not gonna be confronting the last biggest thing first. You first have to assert yourself in small ways first and build it up after a while. Because the mistake that people do is that they sort of, how can I say this? They attack the big fish first, right? You first want to start saying no in small ways, crawling before walking, all right? So what we want to do is this: we don't want to build the wall, okay? We don't want to build walls. We want to create boundaries. It's completely different. Building walls is more of a trauma, right? When somebody hurts you, when you feel violated in a certain way, you create boundaries, but they're more walls than boundaries. They're more to isolate yourself, right? When you create boundaries, it's more about creating a harmonious and healthy environment where you work with your own self, where you know, do this at this time, and with other people, they sense that you have limits. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Because, man, if you don't have this, your life is going to be chaotic. You're going to be emotional, and it's going to affect every aspect of your life. You see what I'm saying? All right, but we want to consciously develop those boundaries. Okay, so because life is all about limitations, right? If you don't limit something, it'll turn against you and consume you, like a cancer, right? What's cancer? Cancer is I don't know about cancer too much, right? But cancer is something that's like growing at a rapid rate. It has no boundaries. You see, life is all about boundaries. What do I mean by that? Like a cell is alive because it has boundaries. There's a boundary between itself, right? And it's the boundary is usually out of, I guess it's oil. Oil is I heard oil is the source of life because oil separates water, right? So water, it creates like a little boundary and it's able to have a little ecosystem. But what was I saying? So if you don't limit something, it'll turn against you and consume you, right? Addictions are a lack of boundaries. Disrespect are a lack of boundaries, right? So this is what we want to do, is be able to have control over ourselves. The reason why a lot of people don't have control over their lives is just because they have no boundaries. And again, it's not about creating boundaries with just people. the first place you got to create boundary is within yourself. Demanding certain things from people and demanding respect for yourself, demanding that you're not going to feel this way, demanding that you're not going to let people treat you this way. So you first treat yourself that way. You first elevate that level of standard towards yourself, and it'll naturally be projected onto people, towards people, not in an aggressive way, but in an assertive, calm way. And I can promise you, when you do this, again, like I said, your circle will lessen, but it's going to be more quality than quantity. You see?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're gonna be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man, Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one will teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship. And this, a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. I'm closing the channel.